Well, good morning, good afternoon, and woohoo, good evening, traders from across the globe. I hope you guys can hear me and see me. I thought I would stream live today because, boy, we've got a lot going on out there. And I left off with a video last night about watch the S&P, big time drop coming our way most likely. So that is what happened, and now we should probably take a look at what's going on out there. So I will wait a little while until traders start showing up in our chat room, and then we'll go from there. So let's do that. Just give me a couple of moments. This will start to fill up, and then we'll be able to chat a little bit about the charts that you see, or that we're going to look at. Let's see. So chat room is set up, and markets are just starting to reel here. I guess a good setback would probably help. I can't say it's not going to help. And we'll take a look at the charts, and we'll kind of see what's going on. So Willie, I don't know what I'll be calling, but I have to sit and do longer term analysis over the weekend. But we are in a big booming bull market, don't forget. You know what I mean? It's not just going to fall apart on us. But it is at the moment. Because look at these things ticking. Every time that L right here lights up, it'll be a new low. And I've been watching new lows almost all day. So a lot of downswing going on here. But yesterday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was the only indice left going in the upwards direction. All the other major indices were already working their way down. So sort of made sense that today was going to be a down day for sure. Omni was bearish. So I have a live chat room here as well. Let me tell them to join us in the YouTube chat room. Maybe they'll come join us. That's interesting. It's not on Twitter, huh? Dano's telling me where. Can you check around, Dano? I should be broadcasting on Facebook, Twitter, StockTwits, LinkedIn, and YouTube right now. Should be, if we've got this set up correctly. So if you guys want to look at some charts, there's a few of you here now. I'm waiting for a few more. And then we'll start looking at what's happening right now, and hopefully what we can do to make money tomorrow. So let's go look. In last night's video, we had this. This bar didn't exist yet. And we had this bar right here, meaning that the double top absolutely worked. And we had a down day, Wednesday. And in Thursday, boom. So that double top absolutely is gotten serious, if you ask me. And, the markets are respecting it. Now, what's odd about them respecting that is that Russell didn't show any respect for it at all. Russell, I think a Russell chart sitting on a page here. Let me see if I can find that. I don't think Russell respected anything to do with that double top. And here, let's see, we got a Russell on 19, if I remember right. So, yes, when Russell was at the double top, it showed zero respect. But, boom, finally, the whip comes down. The hammer came down finally, kids. Hopefully that is still recording. I don't know what just happened there. Are we still streaming, kids? Yeah, it looks like we're still streaming. Dano, in about 2 minutes, check again. I think that was the start streaming button I just hit. I've got a stream deck, and you got to hit many buttons here to get this thing going, but I think that's the record. Yeah, it should be. So if you don't mind, check again. It should be broadcasting on other platforms as well. I'm having a conversation with somebody in my trading room while I'm speaking to you guys at the same time. And everything disappears. Don't you love Windows when that happens? All right, chat room is back. And let's go back to our charts. So, this guy's showing respect to the double top when Russ didn't show any respect to it at all. And quite honestly, the Dow did not either. Let's see, there's another chart with the Dow on it. So the Dow paid no respect for the double top at all, exploded, but now look, you've got an outside reversal, huge outside reversal bar right here. It went higher than the day before's high, lower than the day before's low, and if it settles lower than the day before, it's an outside reversal bar. So you've got that, and it was the only indice left going up. This was the picture as of last night. This was going up, but as you've seen, if we go to NASDAQ, was not going up as of last night. All right, it's been going down for 2 days. E-mini S&P, now here's the one that we spoke about in last night's video, and we talked about because the NASDAQ broke that spot, ES is likely going to break it too, and it sure did. It is heading down. So we're getting a little bit of a pullback here in all of the markets. The Dow, Tranny, NASDAQ, Russ, all of them are pulling back. You also had that crazy gold pullback. If we go to, I believe that's on chart 7. Check out the gold, paying respect to the triple top. So somebody had mentioned yesterday in my video, shouldn't be my trend line be like this, but not for a triple top. You know what I mean? Triple top, and look at this, it's even as a parallel with the whole bottom. So that is absolutely the way the trend line belongs. It catches all the bottoms, catches all the tops. It's basically where it needs to be. So if you had a question in last night's video about why I didn't make the gold, there was a question, I'm answering somebody's comment, why I did not make this gold channel this way, because it fits much better this way. I can't really see the trading room, so if you guys wouldn't mind, type in the chat room instead. All right, so what else? Look at what silver did. Oh boy, what did I just do? I think I just blew up our live stream. I think I just blew up the YouTube live stream, kids. Give me a moment. Let's see if I can go back to it. Am I still on? All right. Very good. All right. You know, the window shut. I guess it keeps me going. I opened it back up, and I see I'm still there. Thank you. So live streaming from here. This is so set up for me to be live streaming in my chat room, where I just have a chat room going and I'm live. So me live streaming this way, it requires a whole lot more software. I've got all kinds of stuff up and running I got to be careful of. Willie Burke, you are certainly one of my #1 fans, no doubt, brother. All right, so you've got gold doing this, but look at what silver did. Silver completely annihilated what we thought was a bull flag, which now we can negate the thought of this being a bull flag, right? Strike that out. No longer a bull flag. We'll make that black, so we got a strikeout across it. And boom. So it's falling out of the channel. I mean, there's always a chance it could turn around and go back in, but that's not the way things look, especially when you got something like the US dollar cranking ahead. I don't know if I have a dollar chart here, but we'll just pull one. Yes. Dollar having a strong update today, not going to help gold even slightly. Yeah, let's do that in caps. So yeah, dollar having a strong up day is certainly not going to help gold recover on a day like today, nor silver. What else did we have? Oh yes, we looked at Bitcoin last night. That should be here. Nope, that's here. So look, see this list? I have to remember everything on these numbers. See, it says chart 18, chart 12. I have to remember what's on there. I can't rename them. It drives me insane. And Bitcoin, we're still waiting to see if it wants to get back to that spot. Or, more interesting, check this out. You know what? Let's do it with one of these. Here's where I think you're going to see, well, this is what's going to happen next. In Bitcoin, if you go back and look, Bitcoin is the type of market that likes to fill its gaps before heading back up. Why would I say that? Well, let's go see if we can find a gap anywhere. Let's go look around. Gap, gap, gap. Let's go back a little bit. Had a gap. Nope, it's not actually a gap. Just a high and low. Basically touched, so no gap there. Is a little gap here. Let's see how close we got to filling it. Little gap left open there. Let's go back. A gap eventually gets filled. See if there's anything else. Another gap, eventually it gets filled. Anything else? Another gap gets filled right away. Anything else on this bad boy? We know got filled right away. Gap filled right away. Gap filled right away. You see the picture? Now we have a gap. So, should it get filled right away? I don't know about right away, but it's going to get filled because that's likelihood when you're trading Bitcoin and not day trading it only. So let's expect that we come down here first. Let's get rid of some of this. Let's expect that we come down here. If it holds ground here by filling the gap, we'll reassess, you know what I mean? We'll take another look at it. So let's keep Bitcoin on that holding pattern. Maybe it'll get through the top when it gets up there. Now it's got a gap to fill, and it likely will fill that, and then we'll see what happens next. So markets haven't crashed since 2009? No, it's not overdue. We're in the beginning of an AI rally that's not just going to go away. So, all right, let me see if I can, maybe there's a long enough term chart sitting around somewhere. We can go back and take a look. Let's see what 12 would show us. 12 is the Dow, and I don't know how much time we have on this, but let's see. If I can go back a little bit. We're only in 22. Need to go back further than that. Let's see how much it'll let us load. This is the industrials. Let's see what it'll let us load. How many years back we can go. Now let's see if that actually gave us that much time or not. Come on now, go back. $19.80. Yes. This is perfect. right around here, computers came out. I was there for it. 82. I was a little bit further up the road. Right around 80, 82, computers came out, and look at the extended insanity that took place. It just went up, the prices get higher, and then they finally break around, let's see when this finally comes to an end. It's still going up. Yeah, there it is. Finally breaks around 1987. So we had a massive rally that took us all the way from 900 to 2700 for the computers. This was the computer age. All right, there's the computer age and Dow Jones. Then we move forward in time, and the internet's going to come out. So let's go there. We're only at 89. We've got to go to 94 for the internet. 91. 93, we're just about there now. All right, internet comes out right around here, and some rally starts. We're trading at the 3600 area. By the time this rally was complete, let's see, it ended in around 99-ish, 2000-ish. So where are we now? 97. 2002, let's go back a little bit. It ended right here. It went from 1994 all the way to 2002-ish before it finally broke. You can call it 2001, we had the .com, but then it continued on till it finally, the computer age was over. Now we're living in the age of AI, right? So here we are now. AI just started 2 years ago. So let's go back. We got to go to 22. Let's just take a look at that. 23 was still in. All right, we're in 22. We're trading at about 28,000 Dow. And AI comes out. We're all the way at 41,000 Dow, and it's only been 2 years. If you were keeping track, there was about 7 years on each one of those rallies. First, the computer rally, 7 years of this, but mostly up. The internet, 7 years of this, but mostly up. Now you've got AI. 6 years, 7 years of the same thing. So we are just in the infant stage of this rally. I don't think it's overdue. Were you guys able to follow along with that? I mean, the chart's a little messy the way it flips around, but you can see the price differences, right? So we just got involved in AI, and it's already up a huge amount of points. So I would expect that no matter what happens overall, it'll look more like this. I think it's this guy. It'll look more like this in the end if you looked at a weekly of the market. It just goes up with pullbacks every now and then. And then it goes up and a pullback. And up and then another pullback. But it mostly goes up. And that's what you're going to see for the next 3, 4, 5 years easily. You remember me in 08? Wow! And you're still here, huh? Don't hate me? So this is a masterful chart of NASDAQ, and when you look at these charts on a weekly basis, there is nothing wrong at all with something like this. Let me see if I can just find a little there's nothing wrong with something like this happening because it happens from time to time, right? It'll happen from time to time. It happened here, but it mostly goes up. So if we end up down here, or I don't think we're going to get down here because the geometry is changing and it's shifting and going, it's getting steeper. So I don't think we're getting back to the green anymore. We'll probably only drop a little further and find support. anyhow, that's what I'm looking at. Oh, you remember when crude was up there and I made that call, huh? Got me thrown off television, kinda. So, you know, if we go back to Bitcoin, what was that, 18? The price is, yes, 59,860. So really, when you look at a gap, you can't expect it to be exact. So we give it a little margin, right? 60, 59.8, somewhere around there. It's got to get to fill that gap. And that's sort of healthy because it's inside of this monstrous, could be bull flag. And if that's the case, we're going to love what happens at the end of that bull flag. You know, when I'm not live streaming, what you should do is come to my trading room and join me, because I can't play music and I can't do certain things live streaming, right? Because they give you trouble for it. But I'm always live in my trading room. The camera that you're looking at right now is usually in that trading room along with this camera. So I'm always live in here. And it's very easy to get to. You can get to livewithoscar.com in a snap. Free membership, no credit cards are required, nothing like that. And then just hang out in the trading room. I always have a live camera when I'm in front of the camera. I always have typing. That's 24 hours a day. Doesn't really cost you anything, you know what I mean? So it's easier than me setting up all this craziness to stream with. If I hit one button wrong, I lose you guys. If I play music, I get strikes against me, you know what I mean? It's like I'm in a box. I have my own room. I get to do anything I want in that room. So anyway, you guys should join me in my trading room. Do I think indices will continue to go down? Well, not far, but yes. In fact, we can use the chart we just looked at to gauge what we really think should happen. All right, so the average pullback, when it gets ugly, all right, you know what? Let's use a little measuring tool and make it really easy for us. Let's call this an average pullback. And let's see the last time from here to here. Almost. It was a little deeper, but not by much, right? The highest high was there. The lowest low was there. So let's call this a pullback. And we'll call that the average pullback. If you ended up here, not such a big deal. Not a lot more to go, to be honest. 1900 maybe in NASDAQ, somewhere around there, 19.1. Wouldn't be so terrible to have a pullback about the same size as our usual pullbacks. If we start to experience a bigger one than that, all right, so maybe climate shifting, but I'd expect something about this size. You know, another day or two, we should be out of this mess. I don't think we're in a bear market by any means. So that's my opinion of what I think will happen. Yes, a little bit, but the climate that we're in calls for kind of much higher before the end of the year. What else can we look at? So that's the stuff we looked at in last night's video. So I wanted to go over it again with you today just to see where we're at. So that did happen. If you take away today's bar, we were here, and I mentioned in last night's video, the likelihood of this breaking is very high because of this guy. Was at that same spot just 2 days ago, and it didn't hold, right? So if NASDAQ didn't hold, and S&P and NASDAQ tend to run together, NASDAQ didn't hold, and we didn't expect that S&P would have either. And of course it didn't. So my video last night made up for that really bad one the night before. And will it continue? The other thing to look at is pullbacks are fast and furious, and you go far right away, right? Pullbacks are fast and furious. And they happen right away and all the action takes place. So It's not so much of how far down it will go, it's more about how much time it will take for it to gain its legs. We always get fast and furious. In other words, to go up, it goes up. And to come down, it goes whoosh. You know what I mean? It always comes down faster than it goes up. So if that's the case, it should come down and get to its equilibrium pretty quickly and get us right back into the bull market. Why would it be a bull market? Well, all of these commodities, soybeans, soy meal, wheat, let's make this a little smaller. Soybeans, soy meal, wheat, corn, oats, you name it, crude, not so cheap, but getting better, gasoline, everything, lumber, all the stuff on my board has been getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper like crazy. So if the products, these things here that have been dropping like rocks, in fact, do we have any kind of a soybeans, just to take an example? These guys have been dropping like a rock, and all of the commodities kind of look like this. In fact, that is way steeper, right? It is a steep, steep drop. So you can look at corn, you can look at wheat. Corn's bare flag, get ready to go lower. Look at the crash wheat's been having. You could go across the board, just about every commodity, just about, not all, has gotten ridiculously cheaper since COVID. And the prices on the shelves are about the same, although they're finally starting to come down a little bit. Which means they're making the product that they were charging extremely high prices during COVID and the couple of years after, because they couldn't get product and the product was expensive. The raw materials. Now the raw materials have gotten cheap, 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 and guess where their prices are? Still nice and high. Better believe we're going to be in a bull market. You know what I mean? Imagine your company living off the fat of the raw materials have gotten so cheap it's ridiculous, but our prices are still inflated from when raw materials were scarce. That's where the stock market is right now. And get this, we're at all-time highs and they're getting ready to lower rates, the street thinks. That's suicidal when you're at all-time highs. It'll make it explode like a cannon blast off. So the market is getting ready, as high as it is, to have the Fed lower rates possibly. I think they're getting pressure to lower rates. I don't think any Fed governor would lower rates if they understood the economy the way a Fed governor should understand it. I doubt they'd be lowering rates. So this isn't the time to lower rates. The market is all the way at the highs. You don't step on the gas when the market's at the highs. So, you know the way the world works between July and September. If we have a nice big drop in the market and a reset, the environment becomes good to lower those rates. So maybe that's what we're going to see. I don't know. I can't imagine it going too far. Everything else is just so rosy for these markets, they should continue higher. Dollar's at a great level. Commodities are at a great level. Crude is not out of control. You know, overall, the market should enjoy this rally. Any other questions out there? You like shorting everything mostly? For now, that's a good idea. I don't know if that's a good idea all the time. Especially we're always in a bull market, except for sometimes. 55.74 S&P. What a rout. So today, our trade was to sell gold, and look what it is now. Gold's hitting our lowest profit objectives, huh? We were short gold. We took a decent profit, and now it is trading at 24.43. Yeah, it's going to head to 24.39.5. Go gold. So we got short some gold. That worked. We tried to get short Russell at 22.88. It got to 22.85.5 and cracked on us. So we almost caught that one. So, you know, I don't know if many of you out there know, but I offer these trading recommendations where the Omni tells me where to buy and sell. And I show you where we're buying and selling, where the stop goes, all that good stuff. It's called the Platinum service. You know, it's a Platinum subscription. Now, the track record on this platinum subscription has been ridiculously good if all trades are taken. But it doesn't trade every day. I don't know where I put it, somewhere in here. It doesn't trade every day. And lately, we've been getting some trades here and there, but it is summertime. Right, during the summer, we either expect to get beat up badly, which is why you sell in May and go away, or, summer's just slow and you don't expect a lot out of it. So this summer we've had lots of good trades, a couple of teeny bad trades, but I cannot tell you how many people are getting almost gambling bone itchy, as if I'm not producing enough trades, which I have nothing to do with. Omni says yes, no, trade yes or no, right? I set them up. The market hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But you must realize when it comes to trading, especially if you're a day trader, you don't want something that's producing lots of trades all day long. You don't want something producing trades every single day. Forget whether it's right or wrong. The mechanical errors that can take place when you're trying to get in and out of trades all day. You did a buy for a sell, you did a stop at the wrong spot, you forgot to hit MIT. There's so many mechanical errors that can take place, even if you get the trade right, if you're a day trader. So if you're a day trader trying to follow a system that's buy here, sell there, buy again, sell, it's not. We're humans. It's not physically possible to get all of that right every day and then get the market right too. Right? There's two things going on. You've got the mechanics of getting orders in and out properly, and then you've got whether you call the market right or wrong, and you got to mash that all together. Trying that 20 times a day, you're not asking to win, you're asking to donate. And possibly you've got a gambling addiction and you're not a trader, is the way I view that. Because the Omni lately through the summer, we'll trade a day sometimes a whole day will pass where we won't trade. And I have found that some of my subjects have gotten unruly about that. Listen, you want accuracy. You do not want to trade often. You just want to be accurate when you trade. And when you lose, you want to have a plan. The stop is in place. We only lose X amount and we're done. And then you got to do that every single day. If the trade hits, you get in. If it doesn't, you fold your hands. It's what a professional does. So for you traders out there that have been getting a little ornery, some of you have actually quit the Platinum service because it's not busy enough during the summer. I think you're mixing gambling with trading. Our job is to use the technical analysis I pull off charts to get to the hardest money in the world to get to, but it's the easiest money ever created. It gets created in the thin air. Right? There's money just sitting there with what we do. It's in the thin air. And all you have to do is get to it. The hard part is to get to it. Our job is to use analysis as a tool to get to the money, not be traders. We're using trading as a tool to get to the pot of gold. If you become what you think is just a trader, and if any bit of that in your mind is incorrect, you will become a gambler more so than a trader. We don't trade gut feelings. We don't trade the news. We trade exactly what the charts tell us to trade. If we hit a spot like this and we see we're at a double top, we are basically expecting to be short, right? There are certain rules that we abide by at all times. And if you abide by trading rules and have a methodical approach every day, you'll find yourself actually a winning trader maybe, instead of someone that sends checks to their clearing firm often. Now, I send out these recommendations. They will come out at 3 in the morning, at 3 in the afternoon, at 8 in the morning. Whenever the market sets up, I send out a trade rec. And usually what I try to do is send it out in ways that you almost can't mess up. So if I can show you quickly, I don't know if it'll even be here, but I'll try to be quick about it. This is kind of what you need. You can't trade alone. You need somebody to help you. And then when the markets are moving, if you don't know how to read the charts properly and you start getting nervous and getting to the keyboard and tapping away on that keyboard and changing the stop and buying more and then calling it cost averaging because you don't know what else to call it, these things are all bad habits. So what I will do every day is I'll send out a signal, and it comes out in many ways. It looks like this first. You'll get something that looks like this. It pops up and tells you exactly what I want to do. It's making noise. You can turn the noise off. You can have it read out aloud to you. It'll read aloud.
Flash update. ZWZ19.
At the same time, I have fired off the same thing on a Discord channel. You've received it on Discord, so it's on your phone. I've shot out an email. We're speaking about it in the trading room. And it's live on my site after the trade recommendation has been put out. So I send it in a way that you cannot miss the signals unless you stick your head in the sand and pretend you didn't see them. So I've got it covered, right? You're going to get a signal no matter what. The idea is if you get a signal at 3 in the morning, you don't need to be sitting in front of your computer. You turn up the speakers, you go to sleep. I'm on the job. I will be there to send you a flash update. It's going to wake you up. You wipe your eyes, you roll over, you hit the button, and you go back to sleep. I'll be there on the lookout tower to get you out of that trade. So that's basically what I send. And I've mentioned this in a video, but we have had, June was only 13 trades in June, 3 losing trades, and it was 5,900 in profits. May, we had 13 trades again. That's not every day, right? Some people get bored with that. 1 losing trade in May, 10,600 in profits. Now, I don't calculate any of this myself, by the way. It's calculated by 2 separate entities. They make sure they've got it right. They check with one another, give these figures to me. So I'm reading what I've received. In April, we had 21 trades. So almost every day it traded. Only 2 losing trades in April, 24,700 in profits. March, 18 trades, 7 losers, 4,600 in profits. February, 24 trades, 9 losers, $3,000 loss, $3,082 loss. January, 21 trades, $4,157 profit, 5 losers that month. So it doesn't trade every day. It's going to have some losers, but month over month, if you take all the trades, it profits. So I offer that at livewithoscar.com. I'll just type it in here for you. It's very, very inexpensive. If you go there, I guess I have to put the whole website in, don't I? Can't just say livewithoscar.com. It won't be a link, so I'll copy it for you. And if you go there, it'll be simple. If you don't have a membership, fill one out. Your email will go to spam. Go to spam, send it back. Free membership, no credit cards. Hang out in my live trading room and get to know me a little bit. And then maybe you'll actually go for, take the service and help yourself out when it comes to trading. Omni rocks. It is a very good system. It's been around since the 80s. I've been using it myself since the 80s. I invented it. I am better at this than anyone I've ever met when it comes to calling charts. Wall Street seems to know that of the people who know me. And the Omni will help you, I promise you. But I can only lead horses to water. I can't make you guys drink it. Some people are argumentative. I send them trades. If it's on a bad day, they send me emails. Oh my God, I'm losing. What's wrong with you? If you take these trades, A, you've got to be a professional. B, you got to take every trade, no matter what. Just take it. If you can drive a Chevy, you can drive a Ford. If I tell you to get in cotton, which won't happen, but if I said get in cotton, get in cotton. It's just another symbol, right? It's CTZ instead of ESU. Does not matter if you know the market. We're following charts, and we're just using analysis. It could be on any chart, anywhere, doing anything. So for me, I don't need to know what the stock company makes, what it does, where it is, who's the CEO. I don't care. If the chart says it's going up, it's going up. I don't need to know anything about it. Same with you. If you've never traded a commodity before, if you've never traded E-mini S&P or NASDAQ, but you trade stocks, there's no difference except for E-mini S&P doesn't have one CEO, doesn't have a product it sells, can't possibly go out of business in one day. CEO of the S&P can't jump off the Verrazano Bridge at 8 in the morning. It can't do anything the chart doesn't tell you it's going to do. Whereas a single stock, well, hey, maybe the guy, the people who own that company, the lady, decides that because her husband cheated on her, she's going to jump off the Verrazano at 8 in the morning and prove a point. Well, you're long her stock. You know what I mean? Me, I don't like single stocks. I like the S&P, NASDAQ, Russell. Maybe 3 CEOs could hold hands and jump off the bridge together. We'll go to the Washington Bridge instead. Let them jump there. It won't really change where the S&P is going to go. So I prefer to stay away from single stocks, but if you trade them, charts work just as well on them. So if you've never traded anything else, as I was saying, a stock's a stock, a commodity is a commodity. The S&P is the same thing as trading natural gas. Today, it's just a ticker. If you know the symbol, you can trade it. So if you follow the service, take every trade. I'm only going to trade stuff that's known. I don't trade anything exotic. I don't do anything crazy. I just take Omni trades only. We get in, we get out. It's kind of simple. We're not hedging. We're not putting on options. We don't pretend when we're wrong and start putting on other trades. When we're wrong, we're stopped. When we're right, we're profited. At the end of the day, we're out no matter what happens at 5 p.m. if you're an S&P. So that's about it. The Omni's pretty easy to follow as long as you got kahunas and expect that the charts do tell the truth. You should do pretty well, but you got to stick around for at least a quarter. Anybody who starts the Omni for 1 month, you might get tagged around a little because you might pick and choose from the trades and not realize you got to take them all. Once people have been with me for about a full quarter, they totally see the merit of what's going on here. You'll see it right away, but you might not take all the trades right away. People get scared. But once you see what we do and you take the trades, you should do just fine. Anyway, hopefully you'll come join us. If not, we do this without you. You know what I mean? We're still going to do this anyway. Anybody got anything else? So I gave you that speech because my best confidant who runs this Omni operation with me back end told me, Oscar, why don't you mention the Platinum service? You never tell anyone about it. All right, done. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. So what else can we do? Really, until the close, not much. Not much will happen. We'll do our analysis this afternoon and see what gives and whether we should get in or out or what we should do with it. We'll figure that out. And boot camp. Well, if you like the trade recommendations, I actually teach people how to do that for themselves so they don't need to wait for me at 2 in the morning when I send them those signals. They'll know exactly what signal they're going to get because they know how to do the same Omni calculations that I can do. So I call that Omni Camp, and I host those every couple of months. My next Omni Camp is, Dano, you want to help me out on this one? My next Omni Camp is, let's do a drum roll. I'll see if I can find it for you. Omni Boot Camp, I'll show you. Da-da-da-da. Omni Camp, my next scheduled camp is in 62 days, 11 minutes, or 11 hours, 23 minutes. That would be the 19th of September. I was going to do an Omni Camp literally next week here in Vegas. It has been 110, 118, 115 degrees night after night. I had traders that wanted to come in from Alaska. I canceled it because in September it cools down here. We drop into the 90s, 80s, and then it's beautiful temperatures. So this will be the camp. Sorry, the Omniacs, that I had to postpone for you guys. I did it for your own health. I don't need you to have heart attacks here in Vegas. We'll get the camp done, I promise. So a few of you already are attending no matter what because you wanted to come out in July. But I've got a couple of open seats in September if you guys want to learn how to do the Omnis for yourselves. OmniBootCamp.com will get you there. All right, am I done with service announcements, Mr. Dano? I'm not. I have a Metastock offer. I can't put that out too. I've got too much. There's an offer from Metastock. I'll click on it. Let's see what happens. There's an offer from Metastock for, I guess, the 15th through the 19th. It's called Black Friday. And on Black Friday, they're going to sell what they normally sell for a lot of money for a real little bit of money. And I've been using Metastock since I'm 18. I love the company. Just love them to death. Was out in Utah visiting them just 10 days ago. So along with some of the courses, there's actually an Oscar course out there that I created myself. I think it's a butt-kicking course. And you can buy it if you decide to go to Metastock, which is the link that's in the chat room. If you go to Metastock, you can click that link. It'll take you here, and you can actually buy any of their courses, including mine. So, see if you want to do that. Thank you, Dano. I feel like, what's that guy's name that does the that does the spray cans. That he sprays it in the boat and he stops the leaks. I feel like that guy right now with all these service announcements. I don't even know his name, but I know he's a good salesman. All right, do I have anything else to look at? I'm looking through stuff. Oh, has anyone seen this? Oh, maybe some of you haven't seen this yet. I stumbled upon this over the weekend and showed it to my chat room. We've been having a lot of fun with this since. Now, forget getting political. Please don't do that on me. This is Vegas. This is Vegas, but it's about politics. Check this screen out. In Vegas, you literally can go to the counter and you can say, I'd like the odds of this falling out of the sky and hitting me in the head on Tuesday at 3 o'clock. They'll give you odds on it. You know what I mean? You want to bet on whether somebody in a game will break his right knuckle before the 3rd minute passes. Vegas will give you a line on that. So you can gamble on anything that you can concoct. They'll give you a line if you're crazy enough. Hey, I bet on the Jets to win the Super Bowl once. They even took that bet. Now, how crazy is that? They laughed at me, but they took the bet. So this is, you can bet. This is real tokens, real money, crypto. You can bet on the Democratic nominee, and the percentage tells you yes or no whether you might win or lose, and it tells you how much the bet's for. So, will it be Kamala Harris, 62%, Joe Biden, 22%, blah, blah, blah. You can bet on Democratic nominee. Will Biden drop out of the race? Will there be a winner? Who's the Democratic nominee? You can bet on anything. It's insanity. These are true cryptos that you can bet on. How sick is that? Will the Fed cut by September? If you're right, 67%, say yes, you will win part of the $7 million bet that's going on. So you can bet on anything. It's insanity. What a page. It's Las Vegas given to Wall Street. How about that, huh? I don't care about anything that you read. This isn't about politics. It's about being able to trade stuff. Wonder if there's charts. Now that's complete emotion, right? That's just people trading what they think. So I wouldn't get involved in markets like that, but it's there if anyone wants to play it. So this is basically what we do every day, kids. If you want to join us in the trading room, it's this. Although, you know what? This is Live with Oscar. Even though it's live with Oscar, it is Live with Oscar. Because my whole life gets spent here. So you guys, you know what's going on with my family and where I'm going and who's at the door. It's Live with Oscar. I'm here 24 hours a day, but I cannot be on camera 24 hours a day. That does not mean I'm not monitoring and typing back, because that I do 24 hours a day. About 20 hours a day. Somewhere in the middle, I sleep for 4 hours. So I'm always here, kids. You know, the camera's not always on, but I'm always here. If the markets are open, you can guarantee, rest assured, I'm watching with quotes cranked loud enough for the neighbors to hear. All right, is there anything else that we should do, or can I knock off this stream? Expect some of you guys to show up in my trading room, and I'll sit back down here again after 5 p.m. Eastern, about an hour and 20 minutes, and start my analysis for tonight. And see if we can get a nice trade done tonight to tomorrow. So if there are no more questions, I will probably end the stream. I don't want to beat you guys up and make it run too long. But make sure that you join me in my live trading room at Live with Oscar if you want to be with me all the time. And I'll try to stream a lot more, by the way. I've set this up for streaming. I'll try to stream a lot more. Hey, Daniel, did you ever check after I hit that Stream Deck button whether or not it started to go to Facebook or LinkedIn or any of that? Did you check a second time? Yeah, that's a huge sale. They sell my course for way more than that usually. So, I wonder if I can check. Let's see before I let you guys go. Facebook, how would I know if I'm live? Doesn't look like it. LinkedIn. Doesn't look like it. Stock Twits. Well, I don't know what happened to all my connections. It's only on YouTube, huh? I hear the chat room. Ah, there it is. No Twitter, no Facebook, no stock twits. I don't know what the deal is. It was all set up to go. All right, I'll have my buddy take another look at it. Okay. Everybody have a great week. Have a great afternoon. I will see you all in just a little while. I'm going to do some analysis and get ready for the night markets. Did I do the dollar chart? I did. I did, Logie. All right, so I'll be back sitting in my live trading room here doing analysis at 5 p.m. Hopefully you guys will join me. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully I'll figure out how to turn this